Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So today we're checking out the JJRC H31 waterproof quadcopter. I guess this is waterproof. And it looks like it maybe comes with some sunglasses too. Anyway, we're going to be checking this out today. We're going to be unboxing it, going ahead and inspecting it, doing a close-up inspection, then taking it out in, for this one I'm just going to go in my backyard and go ahead and fly it around. And also I have a little pool back there for my kids, and I want to try to land it in the pool and do some waterproof testing, so this should be fun. Anyways, for this guy I'll have the links down in the description. Go ahead and check those out, see all the specs on it and current pricing. So let's go ahead and get started with this unboxing. Oh, by the way, this does come in some different colors. We have this white version and also a green version. I believe this is the white version I have here. Let's go ahead and take this out of the box and see what's all about. Oh, okay, so I got the green version. Cool. Alright, that's a surprise. So here we go, just taking it off here, top cover, and here it is, just a really light and small little craft. Let me get all this plastic out of the way here. Looks like they're giving us a very similar controller to the JJRC X1. Same kind of color coding as that controller. Anyway, we got this little bag of prop guards and landing gear here. Instruction manual, and another bag with some glasses. So we do get some cool sunglasses in the box with it, and that's pretty awesome. Looks like a nice slick pair of sunglasses. Looks like a pretty good quality. We'll be able to wear that in the sun. That's kind of neat that they're including this pair of sunglasses. And of course, propellers, a USB. I guess this one does some video. This version, no, actually, this does not come with a video camera, but it looks like you can put one on if you wanted to. And here's the prop guards. I'm just going to take all this out of the packaging. So they give us 4 extra propellers. I thought this was for a micro SD card, but apparently this is the charger. So you're just going to basically plug the battery straight into this charger. Let's go ahead and pull out the battery real quick and see what the battery is all about. Also, there's the screws, bag of screws, and a screwdriver they give you in the package. Anyway, battery is a 3.7 volt, 400 milliamp battery, lithium polymer with this micro low-C Wakera plug here. And looks like it's really easy to charge this one. All you're doing is there's no extra cables, just plugging directly into this USB charger and plugging that into a computer or like a phone USB charger. So really compact and no extra wiring involved. Anyway, let's take a look at the craft first, and then we'll go ahead and look at all the controls and take it out to fly. So a pretty small little guy here. Definitely the green color. It's got this candy apple green, really nice looking. And we can see on the bottom we have this attachment for a video camera if you wanted to put on a video camera. What I may do is just go ahead and unscrew this since there's no video camera in this package. I'll just be going ahead and disconnecting this just to save some weight. Let me just go ahead and do that right now actually. I don't plan to be getting the video package on this. So I'm just going to take this whole thing off. Anyway, just 4 screws, take that off. Save some weight there. There's the battery compartment. We've got the LED lighting on the arms here, 4 corners of the arms. It looks like it will be visible from the sides. You can see the light pod actually extends downwards, and also it's visible from the sides here. It does look like the motor gearing is kind of exposed. Not sure if that's a good thing. So the prop guards are what will screw on to the bottom there. So if you do decide to put the prop guards on, you can just screw them on right here on the bottom. They got 2 holes to screw those on nice and tight. What I actually might be doing is just to have that motor protection, the gear protection. I'd recommend if you're a beginner flyer, go ahead and put these prop guards on. But what I might do is, since I'm a little bit more of a intermediate to advanced flyer, what I might do is screw these things on and then just cut these prop guards off. It doesn't look like you can pull these off. Just to have that motor protection on the bottom. I'd like to have that motor protection or the gear protection so no dirt comes in there. So what I'll probably do is just cut these off immediately. And so I do have these little covers. Okay, so to put the landing gear on, that's pretty much all I'm going to be putting on this one. The landing gear and probably those those gear covers. We're just basically finding the landing gear here in the package and really easily just putting them on, pushing them in so they can basically spread like that and have that wide stance there. And then it looks like there's one screw per landing gear, so we're just checking out this bag here and we're just pulling out 4 screws, probably the smaller ones here. So I'm just going to take a few of the smaller screws. So it's probably going to be a little bit frustrating for you to put on the landing gear if you have it plugged in. So what I'd recommend doing is just go ahead and start the screw in the landing gear first with the landing gear off. So just go ahead and take it off, put the screw in like so. Maybe just start it a little bit. Go ahead and do that for all 4 corners of the landing gear. And it does look like this one, I need to remount this hole just a little bit. Looks like the hole is a little bit unfinished. So I'm just going to take the screwdriver and poke it through there so we actually have a hole there. Okay, so last one, just tightening this one up on the other side. So that's all 4 of them, nice and tight. So that landing gear is not going to fall off, nice and sturdy. Looks like this is the camera port here, so if you do have a camera version or you wanted to buy that camera separate, or you have a camera from possibly another JJRC product that fits in here, you can plug that in there. And also there's an on-off switch here for plugging in the battery, but you don't have to immediately fly it after you plug in. You can have that option to turn it on and off. So the propellers already come on, so you don't have to put those on. Looks like they're on nice and tight. So really, that's everything that comes in the package. So I do want to have this gear protection on the bottom of the motor, so I'm going to be cutting these off. But what I'm thinking is for if you're going to be flying it in some water, I'm thinking that if it goes in the water, you're going to want that water to drain as quick as possible out of the motor. So you know what, I'm going to leave these off just for my flight tests in my yard, and when I do my kind of water test in the kids pool, I'm going to go ahead and leave these bottom things off here just to make sure that the water can drain out as fast as possible when I do dunk it. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the controller now. I'm going to open up the manual and just quickly look at the controls on what we have going here. So it looks like the top left trigger button is going to be our speed button. It's going to be like our rates of flight, so click that for faster flying. On the right hand side, this is going to be our flipping button, so you press that in any direction and you'll probably do some flips. We'll be testing that in the flight test. Here is your throttle, so to go up or down, and then this left and right yaw to turn the craft left and right. And then this is our pitch and our roll, so pitch going forward, back, and a roll left to right. So if you do have the camera attached, the throttle trim here is actually going to be your video and your pictures. I don't have that camera attached, so I won't be using that, but that's what that button does. And then on the right, you have your trim buttons for the pitch and the roll here. So this one is saying that it does have return to home and headless mode, and that is actually done by this yaw trim. You think it's a yaw trim, but it's actually not yaw trim. It's a headless mode or return to home, depending on which direction you push that. And then these guys here, they do spin, but they're just for cosmetics. There's no actual function on these, just for looks. Looks like they did not include a screw we have to take out, so that's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4 AA batteries is what the transmitter takes. And let's just see how good this one snaps in. It seemed like it was a little bit soft. I just want to see how this snaps in here. So yeah, this one actually does seem like it's a little bit, that doesn't really snap in on its own. So you may need to put a screw in there, or what I'm going to do is just kind of try to bend these tabs a little bit in one direction or the other. Okay, yeah, so that's better. So what I'd recommend, if your door is kind of falling off a little bit easily without the screw in there, bend these tabs up a little bit towards you, and that will make it clip in nice and tight. Per JJRC, they say this is somewhat waterproof, so we'll go ahead and test this in the wet weather and also try to dunk it in a pool, see how it does. So let's charge the batteries up and go fly this thing. Alright, cool. So we're out here in the backyard with the JJRC H31. And a little bit stormy today. There was supposed to be a tropical storm kind of that hit Hawaii, but it kind of passed over us. But it's still a little bit wet, and what I'm going to be doing is also testing it in the kids pool over here, just to test the waterproofness of this thing. JJRC claims it's a waterproof quadcopter, so we're going to test that as well. And with me today I have my son Kian. He's actually wearing the glasses that came with the H31. Look pretty cool. So we're going to be putting this thing through the test. Going to do the flight test first, and also we're going to do that pool dunk test. So let's start it up and see how it goes. Okay, so just turn it on with the switch here. Turn on the controller, up and down to bind it. There we go. So let's go ahead and launch. Alright, so this is rate 1, super easy to fly, it seems. Very responsive. And this is what you can expect for the full roll and pitch in rate 1. So very docile. Here is the yaw, full yaw in rate 1. Let's go ahead and go into rate 2. That should be this top left trigger here. There we go. So 3 settings. So it doesn't give you, it gives you a single beep in rate 2 again, but it does get a little faster in everything. And then, whoa! And then we have the third rate, which is even a lot faster. So here's the pitch in rate 3, and the roll. And that yaw is incredibly fast in rate 3. You can see that. Takes a little while to start spinning, but once it gets up speed, it spins pretty quick. So let's go back down to, I'm going to go to rate 2. So notice rate 1 and rate 2 are 1 beep, and rate 3 is 3 beeps, which is kind of weird. Seems like rate 2 should be 2 beeps. That time it was 2 beeps. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now it's beeping 1, 2, 3 beeps. So I'm going to keep it in rate 2 here. Let's see, we launched from that direction. Let's go ahead and do a throttle punch test. So from a hover to full throttle now. So pretty docile, similar to like, you know, a SEMA X5C type of lift. And let's go ahead and do some of these other functions. So the throttle trim up and down isn't going to do anything because this does not have the camera on it. But the trim for the yaw is actually the headless and the return to home. So let's see how that works. Let's go out here a little bit. I'm pressing left, and that looks like the return to home. So you can see how it was kind of coming back to that kind of left position quadrant. So it looks like it might get a little bit skewed, you know, when you are spinning it quite a bit. Its bearing gets a little bit off. Just like most of these toy quads, you can't really trust that return to home. Let's see what the headless is like. It's probably going to be the same skewed, but let's go ahead and try it. So pushing the right, and yeah, so that's our headless, and that's way off. So I would not use that. Go ahead and turn that off. Looks like the headless and the return to home are going to be pretty skewed, so I wouldn't really trust those. But as far as just flying it around, you know, it's definitely nice and fun, really light, quick. You can see that speed. This is just in rate 2, and it's flying great. Not going to be able to really do a range test on this one here, just because, you know, I'm in my house. I don't want to lose it in somebody else's yard. So let's just go ahead and go straight to the waterproof test now. Let's bring it over here to the pool. Do a little bit more flying here. Nice. Alright, so here we go. Oops. Okay, I'm not sure what that was, but I got a beep and then the control just kind of completely got weird. Okay, so I think I know what happened there. So basically I was flying, and with this one, if you accidentally pull the sticks to the bottom right and both down to the bottom right, it will actually calibrate for level. So while I was in flight, it actually did that. But so now it's flying good. I just want to do this water test really quick here, see how it does. So I'm just going to kind of dunk it, really quick and see if we can relaunch. I'm not going to completely shut off the motors. There we go. So we're in the water. Let's try and relaunch. Yes! So it will relaunch. Let's just try to kind of fly around in the water a little bit. Wow, okay, so we're getting water in the motors, in the flight controller. This is kind of cool. I want to get it really down in there. Wow, neat. Okay, so this one is waterproof like they say. I have not cut off the throttle yet because I don't want to do that just quite yet. I just want to leave it running, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a test and cut off the throttle now while it's in the water and see if it'll start up. So let's do a full throttle cutoff. Let it sit there for a few seconds. You can see how it floats. Sorry about the dirty pool. We just kind of had a rainy storm and I need to clean it. But anyway, yeah. So motors are now starting back up, and let's go ahead and try to relaunch this thing. Whoops. Oh, it looks like our battery. Oh, okay, we're good. Yeah, so it looked like the battery was getting a little bit shorted maybe for a little while. But we're back up. Look at that. Cool. So I know some reviewers have had problems with this thing in water, but apparently I got a version that is waterproof. Not sure how long it'll last in water, but let's go ahead and just do as much testing as we can. You can see me just really driving it into the water, and let's go ahead and drop it from about a few feet. Boom. So we're in the water. And let's try to launch. Yep. Awesome. So super satisfied with this one as far as what its capabilities are in the water. Okay, there's our low level landing here. Sorry, Ken, didn't get to fly it this time, but thanks for wearing the glasses for us. So I'm just holding the throttle on. I want to see what happens on the low level voltage shutoff. I'm hoping it's not killing the battery right now, but I just want to show you guys what happens. So it's not lifting, and it's keeping the motors spinning. And there we go, there's our low voltage shutoff. So I had the throttle all the way up. Okay, cool. So pros and cons on this thing. In fact, it is waterproof, or water resistant at least. I'm not sure what prolonged water exposure is going to do to this thing, but for this little pool test, you know, fresh water did fine. Definitely would not run this in salt water. Otherwise, you probably corrode a lot of the components. As far as what I would say is leave those prop guard things off, especially the bottom covers, if you're going to go in water, just so the gears can drain and stuff. If the water kind of gets stuck in there, you'll probably get some hydro lock or some kind of problems, but that's just an assumption. So I just chose to like leave those bottom covers off for now. But super simple to fly. Everything seems to work. As you can see, the headless and the return to home were pretty skewed when you start spinning it. But the 3 rates of flight were pretty awesome. It did have slow, medium, and fast flying, which were all perfect. One thing I didn't test was the flipping. But the flipping, I have no doubt that would work. Just like a standard quadcopter flipping. Sorry I forgot to test that, but I'm sure there's some other videos you can see the flipping on this thing. But anyway, that was a pretty full review on this guy. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to check the links down in the description for this one. It's definitely waterproof. So if you want to check those links, you'll see all the specs on it and the current price that it is now available. Alright, thanks for watching, and thanks again to Ken for demoing those glasses for me. Appreciate that, buddy. Hope you liked the review, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.